What's up, everybody? I'm joined today by Peter. Peter has been working with me for almost a year now, and he's been having great results. Peter, first question that I wanted to ask you: what was it like for you before you started working with me? Your experience with diet and training. If you could tell us a little bit, what you were struggling with, and then we'll.
Yeah, so um, everything, honestly, routine, consistency, even doubt. The mental thing, I think, was the biggest struggle. Everybody, you see everything out there advertising. Oh, if you get on this diet, whether it was paleo, keto, even our intermittent fasting, which has some sort of result. My biggest struggle with that, though, was a consistent mental ability and really belief in myself. I think it's easy once you fail that to go off the wagon big. You're like, well, I messed up, so I'm just going to continue to do it. And then that gives you in this like cycle, this downward spiral of weight gain, fatigue, and then the motivation is gone, you know? And so the biggest question that I had, Bartos, before coming on board with you is how do I get past that part? How do I get motivated to change? Because everybody wants to change. The want is there. It's just the motivation to take that step and be consistent. And so before you, I didn't have that. I had tools, I had resources, but I didn't have the accountability because it was just me, and I didn't have the motivation to be consistent.
Got it. I appreciate it, man. So after we started working together, what was different to everything that was happening before?
Well, I think the biggest change was the knowledge of what I'm capable of doing. And it sounds weird, but everybody believes that they can do something, but to follow through with it with the right motivation and the right accountability is what changed it. It went from something that I got to do for like 2 weeks and you get on this, wow, okay, that I could do this, to, oh, I messed up, but I think the biggest part where you came in was like, dude, you can mess up. It's okay. You know, it's not going to be the end of the world. You're not going to reset because of that. It's like you get up and you keep moving forward, and it was just like this constant accountability, but in the right way. You didn't shame, you didn't body shame, you didn't health shame, you didn't do any of that. It was the idea like, no, man, this is going to be a normal thing of life, but here's how you combat that mentally.
Exactly.
And so the biggest change was being able to still and continue to progress and believe in yourself and not beat yourself up.
Fantastic. What about your experience with training? What was it like before, and what is it like now?
So when I worked out before, it was all about weight. It's like you get into the system, you see, and or you may have people who come and speak to you about like, hey, here's how you do it, but you would always be like, I have to push myself to the limit. The biggest thing that I've learned since coming on with you was not necessarily the weight as much as the execution, and how proper execution and technique and focus on those things do loads more for your body, for your muscles, than just adding the weight. And yeah, I it's hard to explain, but when I work out now, I don't have the same necessarily pain experience that I did before.
Yeah.
Leg day, for example, was the biggest struggle. It was like, oh, leg press, hundreds of pounds, you can do it, and then not being able to walk for the next 2 days sucked. Leg day with you is no, you don't have to add that much weight. Here's the proper technique, here's the proper form. Make sure you don't add too much weight so you don't hurt yourself, and I can still be mobile. So I think the biggest thing was just making sure that the technique was there, and the benefits behind understanding that is huge.
Fantastic. And you got bigger.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm more cut than I've been on my own ever. Like I'm 40 years old almost, and I am in the best shape that I've ever been.
Fantastic, man. Peter, one last question for you. If someone is on the fence about investing in a health coach, about working with me, for example, what would you tell them?
First of all, do it. Um, and I've had personal trainers in my life. I've had programs in my life where I put in data. Where you come in is it's like the bridge of the results that you want and the ability to do it. To do something that's life changing, and by life changing, I'm not just talking about physique. I'm talking about a whole life. You know, from physical to stress to ability. Bartos, you can come in and you bridge that. You make it possible for people based on what the program that you have, the accountability that you provide. And honestly, man, you can go to a gym and you can have a trainer and then your time is over. But the fact that you offer access all the time to not just you, but to encourage people, that's what changes people. And so if anybody's on the fence, it's like, no, man, if you really want to execute your life to be better, to be a better person, they need to get on board.
Wow. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Peter, I know that you were about to work out, so I'm not going to stop you. Thank you very much for everything that you just shared. And have an amazing workout, man.
Thanks, Bartles. Have a good day,
Cool.
bud.